Hey guys, and welcome back to another Stronghold Crusader Mechanics 101 video. If you have any better ideas on what I can call this, I'd love that, because it's just a little bit of a mouthful and I'm saying it so many times and I'm having to re-record it so many times because I keep screwing up. This series covers some basic Stronghold Crusader mechanics such as height advantage and unit stances. Those have been previous videos. This week is going to be all around hotkeys. If you find this video useful and want to hear more like it, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you have any ideas on what I can be covering, head along to my Twitch stream. I do stream every weekend, twice a weekend. You can ask me live. Now, I've mentioned a few of these hotkeys in previous videos, and I mentioned that I was going to get this video out in the last video, in fact. So here it goes. We're going to go over all of the hotkeys currently in Stronghold Crusader that I know of. I will break them down. I'm going to show them all up on the screen. However, I'm going to highlight the ones that I think I use the most and I think will be the most useful to you. And the rest will just show up there and you can use them as you wish. Now, we're going to go through all the skirmish map hotkeys first. So first off, we're going to go all about the map control. You probably know some of these ones. The most important ones here I find are the space to flatten the map and to unflatten the map, X and C to rotate it clockwise or anti-clockwise, and Z to zoom in or zoom out, or Z depending on your personal vernacular. These are all available by right-clicking and then dragging to whichever option you want. However, I find just being able to tap the hotkey is just so much faster and easier, and just looks a lot better than trying to use the right-click menu. The other option, which I don't actually use all that often, but when I do use it, it's really useful, and that's the Shift L to cycle through lords. This is particularly useful in multiplayer games where you can't figure out where the opponent has left their lord. Sometimes they'll have brought it out to come after you and it's not at the castle, or sometimes it might be behind a building or something like that. Going Shift L will cycle through all the current lords on the map and you can find the lord through that method. Now, for game control, these ones don't really work in multiplayer and they're probably the ones that you're the most familiar with. The plus and minus changing speed is much more useful than going in through the menu into the gameplay options and changing the speed in there. And with the Unofficial Crusader Patch, you need to use these hotkeys to get past that 90 speed limit, and you can get all the way up to 1000 with that. The P to pause and unpause is also a very useful one. And now we're going to get into the most important hotkeys in my opinion, and that is the building hotkeys. And there is none of these that aren't important, so I'm just going to quickly run down the list. B is for barracks, G is for granary, H is for the keep, M for marketplace, the N is the mercenary post, I for engineers guild, and the T is for the tunnelers guild. There is currently no hotkey for the cathedral. I do get asked that one a lot. It doesn't exist at this stage. These keys on their own aren't actually all that useful. You may have realized this already. It's kind of annoying when you hit the hotkey and it drags you away from wherever you are. But there are a couple of extra hotkeys that can make this so much more powerful. My favorite is Shift. Holding the Shift button when you click one of these building keys will allow you to open up the menu for these buildings without moving the map. So for example, I'm in the middle of a fight and go, oh, I need to go sell some bread because I've got a full granary. I can go Shift M to open the marketplace, go through, sell some food, reduce the things so I can keep on getting more food going into the granary, and I don't have to take my eyes off of the current fight. There are times where you do want to head back to your base, say for recruiting. You can go press B to go back to your barracks, recruit some knights for example. You can select them, but then you need to get back to wherever you were in the fight a moment ago. You can hit Control B to return to wherever you were before you hit the B button. This is great because it means you can select those knights, hit Control B, and then target the enemy that's right there. Makes things so much easier than having to scroll all the way back and finding where you were at the time. Now, in the units category, we've covered the vast majority of these in previous videos. The control groups, the waypoints, the rally points, and the unit stances are all covered in the last 2 videos. Now, there's a few more hotkeys that don't fit into any of these categories, and you'll know of the taunts, for example. F1 to F9 are various taunts in Crusader, and a lot of people do not realize that you can actually hold control and hit F1 to F9 for even more taunts. These don't really have any effect on the game, they're just fun to hit sometimes. So just play around with those guys. The tab button will hide the little bit bar at the bottom of the window, which has all your building and your mini map and all that sort of stuff. Completely removes that to hide any distractions. If you just want to see more of the map at the time, you can hit tab to remove it and tab to bring it back. Now, probably the one that I've actually been asked for the most is the taking a screenshot. If you weren't aware, Stronghold Crusader is very difficult to get a screenshot on a modern computer. The reason for that is that it's just built out of such old technology that you cannot, it doesn't work in windowed mode unless you download and install the GRhin. A lot of people have had issues with that. I find it's pretty easy to set up myself, but a lot of people have had issues with that, so a lot of people don't want to use that. The Steam overlay will not work, so you cannot use that for the screenshots. And even some of the hotkeys with your computer trying to get your print screen, it does not work all the time. It might get a black screen or just won't listen to it. Different issues come up. However, there is a built-in Stronghold Crusader screenshot hotkey. If you hit Alt Q on your keyboard, it will take a screenshot of whatever's on your screen at the time, and it will put it into your document / Stronghold Crusader folder. Now, just be aware that when you do this, it numbers the first one you do as 1, and the second one as 2, and so on and so forth. And then when you close out of the game and you reopen the game, it will name the next one 1 again. And so therefore it will overwrite the screenshots from the previous time you had the game open. So you want to either copy those screenshots out or rename them after each game, just so you don't lose them. So just be aware of that if you do want to use this one. And for all you map editors out there, don't worry, I have not forgotten you. I find that a lot of you know some of these ones already, especially the Alt comma and the menu screen. Menu screen. The Alt comma will allow you to change map type from a skirmish to an invasion or whatever. Alt E kills all the animals on the current map. And Alt tick, that's the button above the left tab on a English US keyboard and to the left of the number 1 key. So it's, no one really knows the names of those ones, but that there will get you into the initial resource editor, so you can decide how many resources each player might have, or the main player might have at the start of a scenario mission. When you're in the map, Alt H pauses the map, which I find really useful. It means that animals aren't continuously running around and exploring, and units aren't trying to fight each other. If you want to start the map with units fighting, you can pause it so they're not continuously fighting while you're there and killing each other off before you even get the save button. And Alt V will regenerate lords, so if you accidentally let one of your lords get killed, or it's been built over, or for whatever other reason the lord has disappeared, you can go Alt V and it will respawn that lord. And Alt D is a great debug tool, however I have no idea about it. I've got the note that I've got written here is to show the connection and linkage layers. I believe this is to help you know which tiles can be accessed from which tiles, so you know that hill is too much of a hill and more of a cliff and you can't walk up that cliff, or stuff like that is mostly what it is about, I believe. I'm sure we'll get some map creators commenting down in the comments below, letting me know how wrong I am and giving us the right answer. Heroes Florian, I am looking at you. And that's all of the hotkeys that I am aware of in Stronghold Crusader. If I've missed any, let me know down in the comments below. At this stage, if you want to get any extra hotkeys in the game, or you want to change any of these, the only option I have found at this stage is a mod called SHC Player, which is available on ModDB. I'm not going to link it because it only works in the 1.3 version of Stronghold Crusader. So if you have that, or you can get that, you feel free to Google it. It'll should come up pretty easily, and that will allow you to set your own. At this stage, the Unofficial Crusader Patch, which is the mod that I use the most, and I'm constantly talking to them and hoping that they're trying to get some features in for me. They do not have it at this stage. I hope that they will at some point, and I think a lot of people there want to as well, but it's not exactly simple. Hopefully at some stage we'll be able to do it, but at this stage it's just the built-in hotkeys. However, even using the hotkeys that are there, it can actually speed up how you play your game really quickly, especially in multiplayer. Being able to open up your buildings in particular without moving your screen is incredibly useful, and just allows you to be able to have so much more map awareness and do things so much faster than having to scroll the map all the time. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments below, or head along to my Twitch stream. Again, I stream every weekend, twice a weekend. The exact times will be in your local time zone on the link page. Feel free to come along, ask some questions, or jump in and play some multiplayer games. We're always looking for new players. Hopefully I'll see you there. Catch you guys next time. It's actually better than Pikeman. Oh no. Oh no. NP. Please no. Not. We were testing this map earlier, and I killed NP like this 4 times.